Good evening, everyone. It's time for our last Thanksgiving read aloud for this Thanksgiving season, and we're here at school recording the story for tonight. And I'm happy to tell you that we are going to share the book "Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving" by the author and illustrator Dave Pilkey. He is the author illustrator. He did the story and the pictures. And I have to tell you something interesting about Dave Pilkey. We love his books. He writes Captain Underpants and he writes the Dog Man series. So we really like him. And something else interesting about him is he is married to an author. His wife's name is Cynthia Rylant. And she wrote the book Scarecrow. And she also wrote the book In November, which kindergarten just read recently. If you know the story, Miss Rumphius, she wrote that. And she's just oh my goodness, Cynthia Ryland has written a bunch of great, beautiful, quiet books. And then Dave Pilkey writes those kind of rowdy books like Captain Underpants and Dogman. So they are an interesting pair. And I think they do wonderful books together too. And but we're going to read "Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving" by Dave Pilkey. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the dust cover because dust covers are hard to handle. But when you have that paper cover on the book, it's called the dust cover. And sometimes when you take the dust cover off, you get a little surprised, and here there's a turkey. So I got a feeling this book, "Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving," has something to do with turkeys. And this is one of my favorite books to read to students. You probably hear me say that a lot. Any student who was ever in my class, I love pretty much every book I read. So "Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving" by Dave Pilkey. This book is dedicated to Cindy and Nate, and Mr. Pilkey dedicated this book to his wife and his son. So here we go. 'Twas the day before Thanksgiving, and all through the trees the fall leaves were spinning aloft in the breeze. 8 children had boarded their school bus with grins in hopes that a field trip soon would begin. They sang as they rode through autumn terrains while visions of drumsticks danced in their brains. Anybody out there got visions of drumsticks in their brains? I know I do. I'm thinking a little bit about pumpkin pie, too. Over rivers, through woods, with winding and weaves, their school bus sailed on through the new fallen leaves. When out on the road there arose such a clatter, they threw down their windows to see what was the matter. When what with their wondering eyes should they see but a miniature farm and a tiny turkey, and a little old man so lively and rugged, they knew in a moment it was Farmer McNugget. He was dressed all in denim from his head to his toe, with a pinch of polyester and a dash of Velcro. And then in a twinkling, they heard in the straw the prancing and pawing of each little claw. More rapid than chickens, his cockerels they came. He whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now Ollie, now Stanley, now Larry and Moe, on Wally, on Beaver, on Shemp and Groucho. The turkeys were chunky with smiling beaked faces, and they greeted the children with downy embraces. So out through the barnyard they ran and they flew, and they gobbled and giggled, as friends sometimes do. I think I've heard my newer grade school kids gobble and giggle together a few times in the past. Can't wait to have you all back next week. Then somebody spotted an axe by the door, and she asked Farmer Nugget what it was for. With a blink of his eye and a twist of his head, the old farmer told a story of dread. "Tonight," said McNugget, "these feathery beasts will be chopped up and roasted for Thanksgiving feast." The children stood still, and tears filled their eyes. Then they clamored aloud in a chorus of cries. Oh dear, cried McNugget. Now what shall I do? So he dashed to the well, and their teacher dashed too. And they fetched some water fresh from the ground in a hopes that a swig might calm everyone down. And when they returned to quiet the matter, the children were calmer and mysteriously fatter. The boys and girls drank up their drinks in the hay and then thanked old McNugget, and they waddled away. They limped to the school bus, all huffing and puffing. It's not easy to walk filled with hot turkey stuffing. And then as the school bus drove off in the night, McNugget looked round. Not a turkey in sight. 'Twas the night before Thanksgiving, and the stars up above shone down on a school bus abounding with love. The very next evening, 8 families were blessed with 8 fluffy turkeys as their Thanksgiving guests. They feasted on veggies with jelly and toast, and everyone was thankful, the turkeys the most. So each one gave thanks for love and for living, and they all had a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving. And that's the story of 'Twas the Night Before Thanksgiving. We all hope you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving too. We want you to make sure that to be safe, be healthy. We'll look forward to seeing everybody on Monday, November 30th as we all come back together for learning here at Newark Grade School and at Millbrook Junior High. Again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone from all of us here at Newark District 66. We'll see you next month for some Christmas stories.